Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome back. Welcome to Appreciate the Support. My name is Joe Josh. Go by iChart Daily. Follow me on X, the iChart Daily. Today is December 28th, 2025. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my thought process on what I think is playing out on the 3, 4, 5, and weekly chart, meaning like the short-term, mid-term, and long-term time frames. And trying to figure out when this potential move to the upside is going to happen, the next swing start, let's just say, where do I think it's taking us to, and so on, so on. Just a little insight, if this is your first video, I appreciate all the new subscribers. I've been doing technical analysis for 17, going on 18 years now. I've been trading, charting, investing in crypto for about 10 years. I got in around over here, 2015-16, when Bitcoin was on its run up to 20,000. I've experienced multiple halvings. I've researched, read, and experienced multiple news articles that meant absolutely nothing. What I do is I use indicators to help me give me a visual of momentum, where it could go to, and it eliminates the emotions out of my trading. Be 100% transparent. I have 2 bags, one for my family when I die, and those are the coins that I think that matters based off of the news and real life utilization. And then I have a trading bag that I try to make money off of and fuel the long-term bags, right? My ISO 20022, the ones that are working with the major hedge funds and tokenizations and stuff like that, and real life use cases, right? As of right now, I still believe price action, unfortunately, a lot of people don't want to hear this, but price action is based off of squiggly lines on a screen in technical analysis. It's not like the stock market where the news matters. You have earnings and stuff like that. Positive news could come out in a bear market. It means nothing. Positive news could come in a bear market. It means nothing. So as of right now, you got to follow Bitcoin because of Bitcoin's dominance has 60%. That's just the way it is, cuzzy. That's why every video I start with Bitcoin, because whatever Bitcoin's doing, the entire market is pretty much doing thereafter. I'll leave my thought with this. Any project that is looking to do an ICO, if you're doing it during a bear market, you're going to poo-poo the bed. Any project that, I don't even know if I could say it, but there are certain coins like CUM Rocket, and they come out during a bull market, and people are looking to make money. They have a lot of excess money from making money in crypto, and it's just based off market cap at that point. So let's get into Bitcoin. I posted on X. Let's get into it. First of all, thank you for everyone following me. Posted on X this picture. 4-day chart. I want to explain it because I think understanding why I use certain time frames is key, right? So I was asked the question about a week ago, what time frame is the best time frame? And the best time frame is the one that doesn't lie to you, right? Now, obviously, those are the longer time frames, like the weekly, 2-week, 3-week, and monthly. And what I mean by that is when you have confirmations that have been trying to install into your head, like death cross, RSI below above, stochastic breaking, when you have those play out on certain time frames, you don't have many fake outs where it breaks down but then breaks right back up. You also want to find the time frame that is the closest to live, right? Because these are trailing indicators, right? So I don't like using a 2-5 minute. Those are too fast. I like using the 12-hour and the daily to help me understand what's going on for the short term, and then I like using the 2, 3, and 4 day for like the mid time frames. Help me understand if the swing is really starting or not. So I've been saying for a long time, we were watching the 12-hour, we were getting the hidden bullish divergence where the price swings were staying flat, but all of your indicators started making higher lows. Then we went to a daily. We started making higher lows. Stochastic started breaking above 50s. 2-day, we had the golden cross, right, on your MACD. Still in the golden cross while price is going sideways. RSI breaking above. Stochastic staying above 50. 3-day golden cross. We had the higher low, we had the higher low on the MACD while the price made the same low RSI is below the 50, but is breaking above the moving average, showing us we got room to grow. When I see these things, I put on my 11 and 21 day moving average to help me understand where resistance is going to be. As of right now, we're going to have resistance at 89.4, and then once we break that, we could go back up to the 92.278, because if we use the 50 line as resistance on this time frame, we're going to use the 11 and 21 day range as resistance, this little circle right here. But we have bullish momentum on our side, right? Because once again, as I go longer to the 4-day, the moving averages go higher, and when those start breaking, you have more room to grow. Right, so let's just delete everything. So you can see golden cross, at least we're going flat. We're not breaking the 84.7 and making a lower low. Then we go to the 4-day, which I've been saying I'm watching for a long time. We're about to golden cross. I then look at where the candle is printing next. So we got 2 days and 10 hours for this candle to prove itself, and then the next one to happen, Wednesday, whatever it is, my time, New York time. Again, on the 4-day, we just broke, retested the moving average, and we have room to grow back to at least the 50. Yes, we're in section B, so we could come back down to 84, but as of right now, we have potential 1 to 2, 3 candles of green momentum, which is for 8, 12 days. And then we need to see if we come back up to the 94, 92.4, and then retest the 21-day moving average of 94.9. Once again, momentum is the stochastic RSI as well, showing us that we're breaking the 50, and that's a good sign that we will then break up to the 50 on the 5-day, and we're going to golden cross. Once we start golden crossing on the 4-day, once again, we could still go flat, come back down and retest the 85, but we now have hidden bullish divergence on our side, where price action's going sideways. We're not breaking 85.3, but our indicators are showing more bullish structure. And on the 4-day, I wanted to show some to you. We're looking for confirmations, right? The confirmations that I look for is a golden cross structure on the MACD, and then a sub question of where, right? So this one was a golden cross and was below the 0 line. We then broke the moving averages when the RSI broke the 50 line, and when your stochastic broke the 50. That is when this entire downtrend stopped. That's what I'm trying to teach you. I'm not worried about all the noise. I'm worried about figuring out when this is going to happen, opening up a little measly long of 2-3x, and then taking my profit when somewhere around up here where I think the top is forming. And I'm okay making, even this, I'm okay with making 40-something%. Now we need to figure out if the same scenarios are going to happen again. What I mean by that is I posted the picture of the 4-day, and I showed you when this played out. We had the golden cross, RSI above, stochastic above. We did this. Right? You could even have a golden cross, RSI above, stochastic above. We did this. Right here, MACD golden cross. Right here, your RSI went from below to above. Stochastic above the 50, we went from here and did this. Right here, we had a golden cross. RSI was below. We had a golden cross and a break of the 50. Stochastic was below the 50 the entire time. Broke right here, all 3 confirmations. We went from here to here. Now, one thing I do want to say is the entire time that happened, during these 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 swings, the monthly and the 2-month MACD and RSI and stochastic RSI were doing the confirmations that I told you. We were in a golden cross. RSI was above the moving average and above the 50. Stochastic was in a golden cross and above the 50 as well. We went from 25,000 to 115. As you can see, I'm going to use the same visuals to help me understand what is happening on the way down. Volume is coming down. Looks like, once again, this is a 2-month chart. So the next candle that's coming in is in 3 days. So we need to see how this plays out, because we're getting bearish structure on the longer time frames, but bullish structure on the 4-day. So what that does is that helps me understand that swing is coming, but it might be a short-lived swing. We're not going to break all-time highs, because then we'd be going against what the longer time frame is telling us. And what is one of the rules that I follow? Long-term trends predict short-term outcomes. Now, one thing I do want to show you is we could have a death cross. We can have the RSI go from above the moving average and break below. We could have a death cross in the RSI and break of market structure, which is when it's above the 80 and now below the 80. But we could go back up and make the same high or around the same high. That's where I think we are now. I do think this next move that is forming is going to be something of a fake out, almost like a liquidity grab, where I start posting in my Discord, link will be in the description. You are my exit liquidity. If the longer time frame looks bad, but the whales didn't take their profit at 125,000, or let's just say XRP at its all-time high, some might say there could be a little bit of manipulation between exchanges, the news, and the whales, where the news is going to tell you that people that have a lot of subscribers and more money than you are predicting super cycles, where Bitcoin goes to an astronomical number, right? Like 250,000. And the reason why people would do this is to give you fake hope, not look at the technical analysis, go against everything that you've been learning for the past 17 years. And it's the saying, when you shoot for the moon but land on the stars. There needs to be meat on the bone for people who haven't invested in crypto to think that this is a good investment. Every investment in life, just want to teach you something, right? I was going to be a financial advisor at one point in my life. The first thing people care about is, okay, I'm putting this in, my investment, money in. In a year from now, what will it be? What will my return be? How much money will I be making? And you just make comparisons with other investments, right? If I take the same 10,000, if I would have bought a Rolex, if I would have take the same 10,000 and bought gold, silver, AMD stock, MO, Bitcoin, whatever, a horse, right? What is my ROI? So the point I'm trying to get is, if you buy Bitcoin at 87,000 and someone's saying it's going to 250,000, well, it's like, oh, well, it's about a 2-3x, right? But that's not what the chart is telling you, right? And if you do buy at 80 something thousand and it goes back to 125, you might not take profit because you're expecting 250. You're expecting super cycles. You're expecting Bitcoin to do something that it's never done before. And what I do is I look for trends and how a chart has reacted over the past 13 years. And I then use certain trends to my advantage compared to using people's opinions as the tool for my investing. So, one thing I want to say is the 2-month, let's go back into charting now. The 2-month does not look like it's about to golden cross and golden cross and golden cross, and we're about to enter very bullish times. It looks like we're top heavy and we're losing momentum, right? And the last time this has happened, we've gone up for 2 months, 4 months, and then we pop down, right? So if that happens now, once again, I'm thinking like March, April, and I keep saying around tax time because that's when people usually take a lot of profit off the table. So if we do have 2 to 4 months of bullishness, but once again, keeping in mind that if we do death cross and continue to break down and your RSI officially breaks to 80, we went from 67,000 to 15. We went from, 19,000 to 3. And we went from 1,100 to 164. So I'm just trying to take profit on my long-term bags to buy back when the asset's down 40, 50%. I'm cool with that. So the reason why I'm showing you the longer time frame is the move does look identical, right, to previous 4-day time frame confirmations. But you have to understand that the price action of this current swing is going to act different than this one, this one, and this one because of the longer time frame structure change. Okay, from here was when I showed you the confirmations on the monthly and the 2-month. Right here is when the 2-month broke down. So yes, we're going to go up, but now I do believe that we could potentially use moving averages as resistance. And this is where I put on the 50, 100, and 150, because you could see here we were staying above the 100-day moving average the whole time. We had a golden cross. This is when moving averages break other moving averages, right? So we were bearish here. We went from 35 to 15. We had this bottom here, best time to buy. Right here is when all the shorter time moving averages broke above the longer moving averages. This is also called a golden cross. Right here we had a death cross of all the moving averages, the shorter time moving averages break below, and we went right down to the 150 day. Now, because of the 2-month breaking down and the market structure changing compared to what it was here, right? 2-month going up here, 2-month coming down here. You can see all the moving averages are up here, ranging from 100,000 all the way to 110,000. What I think happens is I do think we could come back up, but then we use this range here of 100 to 108, maybe a wick to the 115,000. And if we do use the moving averages as resistance, that is another visual confirmation to me that this was a dead cat bounce, a lower high on the macro, right? So 1, 2, 3, and then potentially we could come back down, use the moving average as support again, let's just say 91, but then it would just be another lower high, like I said, June, July, May, like around here, and then we officially break down to the 75 to the 70,000. Now the reason why once again I'm leaning more bearish is because the longer time frames are showing me that the same things that have happened in previous bear markets are playing out again. That's all. And I stay neutral. I am very bullish on Bitcoin and crypto, tokenization, ISO. Everything's going to be on blockchain eventually. I just, if we're in for a healthy 50, 60, 70% correction, and it is diminishing corrections every time because of adoption, I'm cool with just taking profit at 100 to 120 and getting back in around like 60 to 70, So that's the video, really. We're getting, once again, support at that 85,000. Excuse me. We're getting support at that 85,000 the same way we were getting support at this level here. The same way we were getting support at this level here. Same way we were getting support at this level here. And then what I do is I see how the chart reacted during those time frames, and if I could duplicate or understand how to duplicate what has happened in the chart, where to set alerts, what potentially could play out. So once again, a move, you could see golden cross break above, but you have to realize that the wheres, right, we're below the zero line, showing us that the most recent high of 127,000 might not be broken if we don't break the zero line here. So we could do this and stop here, right here at this zero line. If we do that, we do not break this level. Once again, short term, yes, it looks like we're about the golden cross, but if we don't break the 50, we're seeing rejection at 95,000, right? Until it happens on the 5-day and until it happens on the weekly, and then we need to see what happens thereafter. So that's the video. Love you guys. Under 20 minutes. I will make another video tonight on XRP, but I don't like the videos being longer than 20 minutes because YouTube doesn't like the videos longer than 20 minutes. That's the video. Love you. Once again, you got 2 days and 10 hours for this candle to print and the next one to print thereafter. And if you appreciate this content, I would just appreciate a like. That's all. If you know anyone that could benefit from these videos, share it to them. Love you guys. Enjoy the day.